Hey man, this is Adrian Gomez. Just wanted to get this to you. Sorry it took me so long to get to you. One of the biggest things, let's measure the back hip, his back leg. Measure it again. It looks like he's doing a pretty good job of squatting. Doing a good job of getting back. 108 degrees is not bad, but if we got it down to maybe here, let's see how this changes it. That's 88 degrees, so we're talking, maybe 3 or 4 inches of squat more, and we want his hips to squat backwards towards his heels. So his butt. If you look at Aldous Chapman, his butt is actually behind his back heel when he's throwing, and he does a good job of squatting and keeping his knee over the ankle. The plant drive. So back leg, I think that's something that he can improve on. The back leg squat is something huge. And let's see here. Measuring from knee to knee, it's 110 degrees. This is what we want. That's good. That's good ability to open up. Into this front leg, this is what I want you to focus on, because you can see how low this front knee is, and I'm going to measure it. So front knee, 115 degrees. This is really, really low, and what I'd like to see happen is when he plants, that this leg stays here, 143. This knee needs to suck back or just maintain that 143 degree into, see how he just sinks into his front knee, and he loses all of that power out of his arm. So all of that power is sinking down in here into that front leg, and not into the baseball. So that is number one. That would increase probably 5-6 miles an hour on his pitch, just by fixing that. And let's look at his internal rotation. So this is a common problem just with a lot of players. His knee is actually internally rotated inside of his ankle, and you'll notice that his knee has to open up here 25 degrees just so his hip can come through. So he has part of that front knee angle problem, but he also has the knee internally rotated. So what I'd like to see is him landing there with his knee over his ankle. So he's got to get at this angle, but he's also got to get that knee over the ankle. That's going to help him rotate. His hips are going to rotate around this. So if he planted right there, his hips would start rotating, and he'd drive through a little bit higher. But you can see how far he sinks down. He comes from up here, and so this is his elbow, and you'll see how he kind of sinks into there. So anyway, so that's the lower half. So front side is going to be the biggest thing. His back foot is actually good of how he pushes off. Knees inside. Like I said, the back angle is good. Let's get into the upper body. So looking at ball release. Ball release is not bad, but it could be better with that front knee that's not collapsing. So he's marginal, almost late release. So I'd like him to get a little bit further, and he will if this front knee comes back. If he can get this front knee to retract and his chest to drive through, it's going to be that much easier. Let's get into stacking. So his release point, his launch is back. I'd like to see his upper body stack back here, so his back of his head to be over that foot for a longer period of time. So looking at his ability to stack, if his head can stay over that foot for a longer period of time, he's going to be able to he's not going to start going down to that front knee. He's going to start staying back, and once that front leg plants and solidifies a little bit better, he's going to be able to drive that through here and drive that chest through. It's going to be so much better. So I'd like to see him stay back longer with his upper body. I think everything's just going to key up a little bit better. As you can see, now that I pointed that knee out, I really want you to focus on getting that knee open, and that's weakness in the butt, just not being strong enough to get through that. So any kind of squatting like that you're doing, or hip press or anything like that is going to help. So let's look at front glove. The front glove falls. I'd like to see more. Front glove needs to be pinched better so that he can rotate around. But like I said, that front side is going to be hard to rotate when that front knee collapses completely. So that front glove definitely needs some work, and there's drills on that. So firm front glove, that needs to be fixed. So let's talk about chest extension. Let's see here. So good chest extension, but the problem that I see happening is that this knee comes back, and then this 42, I want it to be high 40s, so that's pretty good. But the front knee, once that front knee comes back, this angle might go crazy. So we need to revisit that later. But the angle for now, the chest is pretty good, but that knee really needs to come back. Chest extension, ball release. Okay, we're going to measure the elbow. As he comes through, the arms, the wrist is going outside of that elbow. So when I measure this, you measure basically each shoulder, and then you measure out to the elbow. So 180 degrees is not bad. So the elbows staying pretty good through that. Elbows coming just a tad. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not worried about that. But I am worried about this is what we call an arm fly out. So when you have this wrist broken down and the wrist goes outside of the elbow, and this is a slower path than if it would be mitigated. So like if we could reduce this to around here, his wrist is going to go through a lot faster. He's also going to be on top of the ball. All these great things happen when he does that. So not bad. Those are, front knee, the angle, the internally rotated front leg. The front glove, I think the biggest thing is his front sides need to be worked on. Hand fly out, and posture at ball release. Last thing. So his posture is right here. So this is where he starts, and this is where he ends. So that's a huge disconnection of his chest, and a lot of it is due because of the front knee. If that front knee solidifies, we might get a little bit of a 16 degree rotation in the posture. But because he's here, we get 37 degrees. There's almost 2 or 3 feet difference in his head moving to the left, and it's hard to locate strikes, especially on this side of the plate when your knee collapses. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, and thanks for being a part of 212 Athlete.